Fine, fine. I have a couple of little pieces for you to encourage some thinking and hopefully to amuse a little bit. This first one is a very pointed piece. Um, you know, we all lament so many shootings, so many unnecessary people damaged by the profuse uh, existence of all these guns. But I want to ask you another question. I want you to think not just about the victims of the bullets, but I want you to think about all the children across the U.S. that are participating in something called active shooter drills. That's the name of this piece. It's called active shooter drills. We're having an active shooter drill today. No time for civics or English. Touche. An active shooter drill to chill the blood because the corrupting bales of money still hide the sun. An active shooter drill today. No playground privileges, but who can say? We'll be practicing now. Quick, to your knees. Don't scuff your shoes, it'll spread disease. You'll make a smaller target. Don't blink. And of all the dastardly, disasterly deeds, just don't think. An active, playful imagination's discouraged. Give me a wink, because picturing your classmates in caskets, no, don't nourish that think. Boys will squirm to fit into the hall closet. Girls will politely squeeze in the art corner, secreting themselves like a bank deposit. We pick two children to guard the door. They'll be the first two targets after the teacher starts the score. The teacher in their career should have no expectation to survive, because that's not the kind of cannibal wasps we have in our tribe. Then slip under your best friend. It's a strategy, son. Smear on their blood. Lie still like you're done. You might have played ball or searched the woods after school, but now you'll be counting shells by the shelves because our legislators are such tools. I'm going to change up the theme just a little bit here, and I want to take you back to ancient days when I was a communard, and a bunch of us spiritual people tried to do different things to be enlightened and practice our yoga. And one of my jobs was to arrange debates and discussions. Now, I took it very seriously. It'd be hard to believe. But this one particular day, I arranged for a debate because we had people who, on the one hand, advocated that you absolutely must wear a hat when you're addressing God. You must wear it all the time. And then, oddly enough, we had another group of people who said, you're not hiding your thoughts, you're not concealing anything. How dare you hide your head before God? And I thought these two people were just the perfect debate. So this is called debate number 2. To state it carried a bit of freight, these contending voices. I called for debate. No vegan versus omnivore, no Jane or Eleanor. Whether before God one must in modesty doff a hat, or there, midst all the confusion, never where it pon the pate dare sat. That dilemma sits outside the gate, bearing up under such heavy judgmental freight. Does modesty require the covering of the head, whether in prayer in the chapel or clearing out the shed? One must trust to the fates, and transparent bear thy head to fate, hiding not thy thoughts for God, whether out midst commerce or in a prayerful nod. Is a hat required by the modest man or maid, or what exactly is she or he afraid? If, my friends, it must be a hat sitting there in modesty veiling, wearing that, should it be a symbol of a symbol wear, or just enough to say it's there? Should it hang an opaque veil? Is that what God needs us to wear? Or opposite, should the head be exposed? Is this the better way our Creator shows? Just like at birth, no cloying cap, no mask, no barrier, bareheaded that. Not even symbolic should you cover, veil your thoughts. Is that exactly what God, our lover, must thereby discover? Must the head, when it is bowed, nor be covered? No, 'tis not allowed. Bear the head, the soul beneath, no longer hidden out our reach of grief. Perhaps 'tis always thus we find, when in spirit life refined, every petty rule set forth is just for rhetoric's sake, discourse in reverse. If God universal we espouse, think you, friend, what in the end we must forbid, allow, keep in good graces, and then must amend, or seek to find his genius in our every friend. in vegan or in omnivore, how must we then in grace restore? Or pull the plug and tug of man? How exactly these contentious clans began? Judge not these trifles by the watch. All this sin surely our Savior forgot. And then on an even lighter note, a friend of mine said, "What do you think? Emotions or reason?" Oh my God, that's been chewed on a bit, huh? But being the fool that I am, I decided to whack at it. So this is called reason and emotion. Reason and emotion, if that's your notion. When you set sail upon the storm-tossed ocean, grab the raft and what's left of reason, set it skyward if that's the season. Reason may yet steer the rudder, grab 4 facts and maybe another. While reason seems to like to steer, it does seem to see its way quite clear. The fuel that stirs the deep, deep ocean and puts the very stars in motion, this vasty, fasty current of emotion, are the potion that moves and proves the raging sea of me. The very scent of ink on painter's palette, the exacting colors of paint on the sculptor's talent, the master chef's mischievous tale, and what the miner and the chef bring home on the rail. Not the stuff of reason, sure, it's the emotions banging once more upon the door. The drum, bass, and piano bar came, but the conductor couldn't quite remember their names. Deep in his cups when he's not alone, when the poet spills inadvertently that stuff in the phone, or what the general shouting on the battle stage, or how feverish the ballerina leaps from her cage. Emotions, that special fire that warms the cute little toes of cool desire, gets her up out of the chair to scheme, conspire, has her dash across the street and pay the bail, so chilly reason might exactly assess the perfect reason to set sail. But emotions tearing through her scars, she doesn't exactly find Cleopatra's barge. She plants a kiss right there on your lips. But if reason's looking, perhaps on your hips. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.